Hi babes, welcome back to my channel. So in today's video, I'm going to be answering your questions that you guys asked me on Instagram in regards to how I've been able to boost my breast milk supply. And like I mentioned, I asked you guys to ask me those questions on Instagram, and I have those all here. So I'm going to be going through them. There are quite a few, but a lot of them are very similar. So I'm not going to answer every single one. I'm just going to be answering the ones that are most popular, and I will be trying to answer, most of them. But like I said, a lot of them are repetitive. So if you are here for that video, then just keep on watching. If you are new to my channel, what is up sis? My name is Erika and I'm excited to have you here. I hope you find this video helpful. And with that being said, let's just get into it. So before I get to answering those questions, I do just want to say she is not a month yet. She'll be a month on the 19th, which is very soon, but I have not struggled with my breast milk. Now, I did latch her on 5 minutes after she was born because I was scared that I wasn't going to be able to breastfeed, being that I had implants, or that I have implants, but my implants are under the muscle. I will be going a little more into detail in regards to my implants, being you guys asked me some questions, but I did just want to throw that out there just in case you guys were unaware. I do have implants, but I have not had any issues with them. Like I said, my breast milk supply, has been coming through, and I have been able to store milk. I went back to work maybe a week and a half after I gave birth, so I've been able to store as well as having that milk when I'm not home. So with that being said, I just want to throw that out there. I'm just going to get into the questions. So the first one is, do you produce a lot of milk? I want to say yes for not being a month yet. Now my actual milk supply did not come in until the 3rd day. So when you first give birth, you're not actually producing milk. You have, what is it called? I forgot the word or the term for it, but let me just tell you guys because I don't want to say the wrong thing. So it is called colostrum. I'm not sure if I'm pronouncing that right. I hope I am. But my milk supply came in on the 3rd day, and they told me that that is the best that they could get, the colostrum, the first 3 days. But my actual milk supply came in on the 3rd day, and ever since it has not failed me. I have not, produced less. Every day I'm actually producing a little more, and I'm very excited for that because, like I said, I'm not even a month yet, and my #1 goal is to be able to breastfeed her for at least a year, which is what I did with my first daughter. With my first daughter, I actually went to a year and 3 months. So to answer your question, I think that I am producing a good amount. Now the next question says, can I use solely the Hakka instead of having to buy an electric pump? So I do have the Hakka. I actually have 2 of these, and if you don't I'm sorry guys, I know I stutter. If you do not know what the Hakka is, so this is not a manual pump. You are not going to be doing this. So what you do with this is when you're breastfeeding the baby on one breast, you apply this one to your other, and you squeeze it once, you put it on your boob, and then because it is already sucked in like this and you put your breast on it, it's gonna stay like that, and slowly it's gonna let me turn it so you guys can see. So you're gonna apply it to your breast like this, and it's just gonna stick on. This is silicone, so it'll be on there, and it's just gonna suck the milk that you're leaking. And honestly, you're gonna be getting a good amount. For myself, I get 3 ounces now. When I first gave birth, like that first week, I was only getting about 1 ounce, but obviously I had just given birth. So this is one thing that I do recommend you guys get. It is called the Hakka, and like I mentioned, I have 2 of them because I find it very useful. Now I do also have a breast pump, and this is the one that I have. This is the Even Flow. I'll go ahead and put a screenshot of the one that the exact one I have, because I know this is kind of like weird to look at, but I'll go ahead, like I said, I'll be adding that. I got it at Target. So to answer your question, I think you should have both. Now, you're not going to be using the breast pump that often. At least for myself, I haven't used it often, but I have used it, and it just helps me relieve my breasts of the excess milk that I have. So for that reason, I'm saying that you should have it. Now, don't go and buy an expensive one, because that's what I don't think is really necessary. So it wasn't that expensive, and there are others that are like $200, $300, which I don't really think is necessary. Just for sure get yourself the Hakka. I have 2 of these, and like I said, I use them all the time. Now the actual breast pump, I only use it every now and then, but it is helpful. So the next question is, anything in particular you drink or eat to help support your milk supply? So I do have avena every single day. Avena is oatmeal. Now I don't make it myself. I have told you guys on Instagram that my mom does make it for me, but I drink this all day. I do not just have it for breakfast or lunch. I have it breakfast, lunch, dinner, snack in between, everything. I'm consistently consuming it because I really do believe that that is what has helped me produce my milk. Now, in regards to how she makes it, I know you guys have been asking me how she makes it. I don't exactly know how she makes it because I do not live with my mom. So I just ask her to make it, and she makes it and either pick it up or she drops it off. But I did ask her, and she said that she just makes it how anyone else would make it, that she doesn't do anything in specific. I know that's not really answering the recipe question, but she says she makes it just like anyone else would. Now, in regards to what I've actually been eating, I've only been eating caldo de pollos as well as chicken salads. That is something I've been eating every single day. Now, I'm not gonna lie, I'm already getting tired of the caldo de pollo, but I know it's for the best, so I am consuming mainly that. Aside from that, I also drink a lot of oat milk, almond milk, and soy milk. I don't drink regular milk. It just does not sit right with me, and I prefer to drink other types of milk. So those are the three that I take: soy, oat, and almond. And I drink cups of it like throughout the day. As you guys know, I don't drink coffee. I don't drink energy drinks. I don't drink juice. I mean, I rarely drink juice, rarely. And I don't drink soda. So I usually would only be drinking water, and aside from that, right now I am taking the oat, soy, and almond milk, and I think those have helped me out so much. Like I said, I am taking it like throughout the day, so that is something that you should be doing in general. Stay hydrated because it'll help you produce milk. So to the next question, it says, have you experienced mastitis? If so, what helped you with your recovery? I'm struggling. Yes, I have. Not with this pregnancy, not with this baby, because I mean, she's only been a month, she's gonna be a month. But with my first daughter, I did get that. And that happens when your breasts are full, and basically your breast becomes so hard that it's filled with the milk, and then you get a fever. So I did get that with my first daughter, and it is very painful. I remember I cried, I had a fever, and I was very overwhelmed. And that milk, you cannot give it to the baby. You have to pump it out and throw it away. But to recover from it, I took antibiotics. I went to the doctor and they told me I had mastitis, and they gave me the antibiotic prescription. I went, I got it, and I was fine in like 2 days. So my recommendation is you gotta get checked out and you get those antibiotics. Moving on, it says, did you breastfeed with your first? Yes, I did. Next question, what is something I can do so my nipples won't be sore and bleed? Oh, I have I think it's right here. It is not right here. Let me go get it. But there is a cream that you can use, and you just put it on your nipples, and it'll relieve them of the pain, as well as I was gonna say fix them, not fix them, but cure them. So let me go get it real quick. That way I can show you guys what it is. So this is a cream that I apply when my nipples are sore or bleeding. And I only had that issue the first week that I gave birth, and as of the last couple of weeks, I have not had any issues. But this is what I apply. Now this is a small one. This is the one that I just leave next to my bed. But I do have the larger one in my diaper bag, and honestly that will cure your nipples. So I definitely recommend that you get it. You can find it at Target, Walmart, Amazon. You can find it honestly at any any store. Like you can go to Rite Aid, CVS, Walgreens. I've seen it at all of those stores. So definitely, I mean, sorry guys, my braces, you guys can get that. It says, how often do you pump? As I mentioned, I do not pump that often. It is only when I really feel like I need to relieve my breasts, and that has only been a few times. Because when you're breastfeeding, you are breastfeeding on demand. So whenever your baby wants milk, you basically gotta give your baby milk. So I attach her all the time, and then on the other boob, I always use the Hakka. So as she is sucking on one, I am relieving my breast of the other by using the Hakka. So definitely get that one. And by that one, I mean the Hakka, guys. I'm telling you guys, this is gonna come through for you. With my daughter, I wouldn't get more than 2 ounces, and I'm 39 weeks now. So I'm assuming this is your second pregnancy. So as I mentioned, the first week and a half, I was only getting 1 ounce on the Hakka, and on the Even Flow, which is the pump, I was getting together combined, I was getting maybe 2 ounces, but I was only a week, you know, of having her, or a week postpartum. Now I get 3 ounces on each breast, which is great. And I think it is also because she is almost a month, and I only hope that it goes higher now that she's gonna be getting a little older, obviously. But that is what I have been doing. It says, is it hard working and breastfeeding? I don't work a 9-to-5 job. If you guys follow me on Instagram, you guys know that I don't. I basically make my own schedule. I do not work a 9-to-5 job. So I only work 4 hours, not a day, because I do not work every single day. I only work 3 or 4 days of the week. And I don't find it hard because I'm basically home all day. And then when I do go, I feel like I feed her and then I go to work, and that's while she's sleeping, and then I come back and I feed her again. So I don't really see it as an issue. And because I'm not constantly sitting down and using the pump, I don't really feel like I'm just sitting there pumping, because most of the time I just stick to having her on one breast and using the Hakka on the other. So it saves me time from sitting down and, you know, just pumping. So that is what I've been doing, and I don't find it to be hard. Which is my recommendation. Like I said, I do think you guys should have both, just you won't be using the pump as much. So don't buy an expensive one. And then it says, are you doing a certain diet as you're breastfeeding? So I'm not on a diet, like I said, but I do only eat caldo de pollo and chicken salad. It has also helped me with losing weight. Now I will be, in just a few days, I will be a month postpartum, and I have lost 17 pounds. I'm already past what I weighed before. Does that make sense? Did I even say that right? What did I go to college for and get a degree if I can't even put sentences together? I feel like my mom brain is ruining me. So my pre-baby weight was 132. It was like 132, 134. And as you guys know, I went to the gym 5 times a week. So I was very toned. And right now I currently weigh 128 pounds. So when I gave birth, I weighed 145. And as of right now, I've lost 17 pounds in 3 weeks, which I'm very happy. So I'm really determined to get back into shape. And I already did pass what my pre-baby weight was by a few pounds. But as I told you guys on Instagram, my goal is to get to about 120, 122, and then go back to the gym and get fit again. So to move on to the next question, it says, how often you? That's another same question. As I told you guys, a lot of the questions are repetitive, so I'm just kind of scrolling through it. Says, how are you increasing your milk supply? I should have listened to your recommendations. So I'm kind of answering that as we go. Like I said, definitely take avena, eat oatmeal, drink as much water as well as almond, oat, or soy milk that you can, which is what I've been drinking. Like I said, I don't drink regular milk, and definitely that I think has been helping out. It says, what type of regimen do you follow in order to supply like this? I mean, with my daughter, I'm not gonna lie to you guys, I don't remember what I did with my first daughter that I was able to, you know, breastfeed her for 1 year and 3 months. I really don't remember. At that time I was 19 and right now I'm 23, so I'm like, I don't remember what I did then. But now this is what I've been doing, and this has helped me. And the avena, I just knew that that was something that was gonna help. Also, my mom had told me. And I mean, the oat milk and stuff, that was kind of just me being like, maybe if I drink more oat milk, almond milk, soy milk, that's all gonna help me. And I feel like it has. So that was kind of just me throwing it in the air, and doing it. Moving on, it says, I was about to DM you literally last night. Do you recommend your breast pump? I definitely do. The reason for it is because, like I said, it wasn't expensive. It was like $50, $60, and it works. A lot of you guys, I had asked you guys on Instagram to send me pumps that you guys recommended, and a lot of you guys sent me some that were like $150, $200, $300, which is cool and all, but if you guys know me, you know I like to save money. And when I saw that, I was like, geez, that's expensive, bro. But honestly, this one is definitely worth it, and most of the time I'm using the Hakka. By the way, the Hakka is I think like $20. It is not expensive at all, but it is definitely worth every penny. How did you do it the first 3 days before your supply came in, or did yours come in right away? So as I mentioned, my breast milk did come in on the 3rd day, but I was producing the colostrum, and she was wetting enough diapers as well as having her bowel movements that made it, well, not made it even, but what was I trying to say? So when you're at the hospital, they count how many wet diapers and how many bowel movements your baby has, and that is what's going to tell you if your baby is eating enough. So I was producing colostrum those first 2 days, and the first 2 days I was in the hospital. On the 3rd day, like I said, is when my milk supply came in, and I was producing enough colostrum that she was being full. Also, they did have a lactation consultant come in and talk to me, and she gave me a folder. And in that folder, it also says and tells you like how much your baby should be consuming. So that first week to 2 weeks, they're only taking about 1 ounce. And then after that, the 2nd to 4 weeks, they're taking about 2 to 4 ounces. Right now, my daughter is consuming 3 ounces at every feeding. And that kind of stresses me out, guys, because sometimes I'm like, Jesus, am I gonna be making enough milk? And I am, but I'm not gonna lie, it does kind of give me like anxiety to think that maybe she's not gonna have enough. But she is, so that's great. Moving on, it says, What other things do you eat to increase your supply? I don't take anything else. Now, a lot of you guys were also sending me like places on, not places, but brands on Instagram or companies that you guys have purchased, like milk, I want to say milk production, drinks or like teas, cookies, things like that. Now, you guys by all means can do that. I personally don't want to be taking anything like that because I have found that simply just taking avena, oatmeal, or consuming a lot of liquids has helped me. So I don't really want to go out of my way and purchase like the teas and stuff or those cookies because they're also kind of expensive, to be honest. I did see some cookies, lactation cookies, and one little pack was $5, which I think is a lot. So I don't take any of that. It's really just the oatmeal, drinking liquids all day, and I have been, like I said, eating caldo de pollo, which is also more for me and my body. So moving on, it says, what do you typically eat during the day and how do you get to 3 ounces on the Hakka? Your question got cut off, so I'm sorry, I don't know what else you said. But I did already answer most of your question. And in regards to getting 3 ounces, I'm not sure. I really just think, like I said, I'm drinking a lot of those liquids and eating the avena. And as I told you guys, I have avena with every meal, as well as I take it like as a snack. And my mom makes me a olla. If you guys know what an olla is, it's a big pot. She makes it for me every single day, and that's the only way I can keep up with it. And the days, there have been 2 days, I'm not gonna lie, that I did not take avena, and I noticed that my milk supply was not actually coming out to 3 ounces. I was only getting maybe an ounce on the Hakka. So that is one of the reasons I know that the avena helps, because the days I didn't get it, which was because I didn't tell my mom to make me the avena, I was like, I forgot. Those days I did notice my supply went down, but then the moment I took the avena, it went right back up. So definitely I recommend you guys do that. So a lot of questions are the same. Okay, this one says, when breastfeeding, do you use the no hands bra? I'm not sure what it is. So that is like a bra that you snap on. I showed you guys one on Instagram that I have. I have not used it recently because I only use that when I use the pump, and because I've only been latching her on one breast and using the Hakka, I don't use it so often. But when you are using a pump and you have both of the little suction things on your breast, I definitely recommend you do have one of those bras. You can find them at Target, Walmart, basically any store. And you just wrap that around. It kind of looks like a bandeau. If you guys don't know what a bandeau is, it's like one of those like crop tops with no straps. And then it has the inserts for the actual like little suctions. You just put it on and it zips up and it'll hold it for you, so your hands are still open and available, so you can multitask. You can be, I don't know, working on your phone, eating. I eat when I do it, that way I'm not wasting time. So yes, I definitely recommend that you use one of those. What has helped you continue to be able to breastfeed only? Anything you're drinking or eating? So I think I've covered that so far. And I am exclusively breastfeeding now, as obviously I am feeding her in a bottle when I use the Hakka. And I'm gonna answer another question for you guys by answering this, because I did see it, which is, am I breastfeeding solely and how am I using the bottle? I do not give her formula. There's nothing wrong with using formula, but I just know that breastfeeding is the best for my baby, and that is what I want to do for her. So that is why I'm exclusively breastfeeding. So the other reason I love to use the Hakka as well as pump is because it allows me to have my me time and have someone else feed her. So when I'm at work, for example, my boyfriend can feed her bottle, and it is my breast milk. Like I said, we are not giving her formula. And definitely that is something that I'm really proud of, because I think it's hard on us women to, to be breastfeeding exclusively, because it does take a lot of time, but I know it's for the best of the baby. And I definitely recommend that if you can, you do it. And there's nothing wrong with giving your baby formula, but if you are able to breastfeed, then definitely go ahead and do so. What bra do you recommend? I'm not sure what you mean, but I am going to be inserting a picture of these bras I got at Target, and honestly they are amazing. They look like sports bras, and I have mine dirty so I can't show you guys, and I'm wearing the other one, but I'll put the screenshot on here. I got them at Target and they were super affordable. It was 2 of them for $19 or $16, I believe, and you just pull the actual like little strap down and it's super easy, and you just put it right back up. It doesn't have a clip or anything. You guys will be seeing what it looks like. And I find those so good to use. It doesn't bother me, and it's just really easy and quick. With my first daughter, I had the ones that had like the little clips, and I found those to be a little tedious. So definitely wouldn't recommend you guys get the ones that have clips at the front. Moving on, it says, does it hurt at first? I love you and your girls. Thank you. Now, I don't think it hurts. It's just, I really do enjoy breastfeeding. I don't know how to explain this to you guys, but when I have my daughter on, it makes me feel happy to be able to, you know, produce milk for her. That bonding time that I have with my daughter while breastfeeding, it's something that, you know, you'll never get back once your baby grows. And it is, I don't know how to explain it, but it is a very like in regards to being a mom, it's very satisfying to know. I feel like I'm getting emotional, but it's very satisfying to know that you can do that for your baby. So no, I don't think it hurts. It did hurt that first week. I'm telling you guys that my nipples were sore and they were bleeding, but use one of these and honestly, it'll fix that. What is your secret? My Whipply is getting so low. I think you meant your Milky. I hope I've answered everything so far in regards to that. It says best bags containers to store the breast milk. Okay, so I did not purchase these. I have had these since I had my first daughter, and I was just saving them. I had a box where I was saving them, and I knew I was gonna have another baby because I was planning on having another baby. So I just saved them because with my first daughter, I told you guys I did breastfeed her for a year and 3 months, and I had a lot of these left over. I have like a little pack of them left over, and this is how I'm storing them. Now for the brand, I don't know what brand they are, but I'm assuming I got it at Target because Target has this label. And this is how I store them. Now a lot of them I did store them like this. I definitely recommend that you guys store them this way instead of this way. Do you guys see how these take up much less space compared to this? Now the reason these were stored this way was because I accidentally, well not accidentally, but I like to take the air out when I put the milk, after I put the milk in I mean, and I would just take the air out, close it, and then I would put it in and I would forget to lay it down. So to get it like this, just take the air out. I recommend you guys take the air out and then lay it down, and it'll freeze this way versus when you leave it straight, it freezes like this. So I don't know the exact brand because as I said, I bought these with my first daughter, but definitely just check out Target because that looks like the Target brand to me. And you guys can find it there or Walmart. So moving on from that, I hope I'm not making this video too long for you guys. I just really wanted to answer all you guys' questions. But how do you increase your supply? I'm going on 7 months and my supply is dropping. I want to say the Avena. I'm telling you guys, when I don't have the Avena, my supply does go down. What are you eating? Are you dieting as well? I'm going to be a new mom in a few weeks. So definitely the caldo de pollo, chicken salads. And with my chicken salads, I do not put ranch or anything. I'll maybe put a little bit of Caesar salad or lemon, but I don't like to overload it with like any dressings because obviously the dressing would be bad. And then just caldo de pollo, I mean. And I don't make the caldo de pollo myself. I'm not gonna lie to you guys, I do not know how to make caldo de pollo. I asked my mom to do it, I mean. And I go to the store, I buy everything for her. So I take her corn, carrots, what else? So corn, carrots, repollo, zucchini, the chicken, potatoes. What else? I know I'm forgetting something. I don't know if she put cilantro, but she put something like that. I don't know if it's cilantro or parsley because I don't buy that. She adds it herself. She also adds onion. She adds a little bit of garlic just for the flavor. And so that's all I can think of right now. But that is what I buy her, and then I take it and she'll make it for me. So moving on, it says, did you get your boobies done? Oh no, it says, did getting your boobies done interfere at any point for breastfeeding? Are they bigger now with milk? I honestly feel like my breasts look the same to me. I mean, yes, they do get bigger when they're full, but then when they're not full, I feel like they just look the same as when I had them done. Now, I've had my breasts done for 3 years. I got them done after I finished breastfeeding my first daughter. And this year it is 3 years. I got them done in 2017. So I have not had any issues. This is the first time I'm obviously breastfeeding, being that I've had them done only, you know, for 3 years, and this is my second baby. But I have not had any issues. As I mentioned, my breasts themselves, the implant itself is under the muscle. So that is what allows you to still be able to breastfeed. and I have not had a single issue. And as I mentioned in the beginning, that was something that scared me because I knew I did want to breastfeed, but I wasn't sure if I was going to be able to. They had told me when I got them done that I would be able to breastfeed, being they were applying the implant under the muscle, but no, I have not had any issues, and that was something I was curious about. But in regards to the size, I mean, yeah, they do get bigger, but I don't really like pay attention to it because I don't look at myself in the mirror too often, because I feel like I look dead most of the time now. You know, I'm just being as honest as I can be with you guys. Right now, you know, I look a little cute because I have my makeup done, but guys, if you only saw me when I'm actually just here at home doing nothing, I look like a whole mess. That's mom life for you. So next question is it stressful and better or worse than a bottle? So she is bottle fed, but she's bottle fed with breast milk, my breast milk. And it is stressful only because I just want to make sure that I'm able to produce milk. So when I feel like maybe my milk supply goes down just a little bit, I feel like I start stressing out. But I just know that stressing out is gonna interfere with your breast milk. So I try not to stress out. But yes, to answer your question, it can be. What helped you the most to start producing more milk? I'm struggling. Oh, the moment I got home, guys, my mom had the caldo de pollo ready and the avena, and she makes ollas, she makes full pots. She doesn't just make a little bit, and then I keep it in the fridge. I'm taking it, and when I notice it's, you know, it's starting to get a little bit less, then I tell her to make me more. But that is what I think has been helping me. It says, my daughter is turning 1 next month and I can't get her to take formula or a bottle. Help. So I'm assuming that maybe you're breastfeeding and you want to stop breastfeeding. Now, for myself, with my daughter, my first daughter, I breastfed her for a year, 3 months, and I had to stop at a year and 3 months because my supply dried out. But it was easy for me because of that. Like, there was no other option. She just knew that she knew I had no more milk. She would try to suck and nothing would come out. So I didn't have an issue, and I wouldn't really know what to tell you in regards to how to get your daughter to take the bottle or the formula, because my daughter had to do it. There was no other option. So moving on, it says, do you alternate between breastfeeding and then using a bottle with the breast milk in it? If I'm home, I breastfeed her until I literally am like completely dry. That is when I give her the bottle. Or when I'm at work or running errands, then my boyfriend will give her the bottle. So yeah, I mean, it's kind of like an alternation. But if I'm home all day, then I just breastfeed her, and I'm always latching her up until my breasts are completely dry. And then I wait for them to get full again. It says, when do you know your milk isn't good to give to your baby? So I did talk to a lactation consultant, and they told me, I mean, that after 4 hours your milk is no longer good. So I try to leave my milk out. If I'm giving her a bottle, I only leave it out for like maybe an hour, and then I go and I refrigerate it, and it is fine. Also, I do have that book that I told you guys the lactation consultant gave me, and I've read it, and it's basically, do not leave the milk out for longer than those 4 hours and it'll be good. Just make sure that you do put it into either the freezer or the refrigerator, so it is at a cool temperature. And if you do have it out, have it at room temperature, don't have it out in the sun and stuff. It says, you don't like formula feeding? I mean, no, I guess to answer your question, no, I don't, because I want to give my baby the best. Now, like I said, I really hope no one takes that offensively. Formula feeding is not a bad thing. I just want to be able to give my baby the best. How much milk do you pump if you have to leave the baby? So I don't take it as how much do I have to pump. Every time I use the Hakka, I get anywhere from 2 to 3 ounces, so that's every time I'm using it. Now, I'm not gonna lie, she sometimes feeds every hour, and this little girl eats a lot. So sometimes when I'm like doing it every hour, I don't get the full 2 to 3 ounces. I get maybe an ounce. But at the end of the day, by the time I have to go to work, because I only work, like I told you guys, a part-time basically. I only work 4 hours. By the time I have to go to work, there's at least 6 to 7 ounces ready for her, and then that's fine during those 4 hours that I'm gone, because I do breastfeed her before I leave, and then when I get back, I breastfeed her again. So that lasts me. Moving on. When you gave birth, did you wait to breastfeed or latch her on right away? So I answered that in the beginning. I did latch her on right away. Si hablas español? Yes, I do speak Spanish. Or I should have said that in Spanish. Si hablo español. It says, hi, so even if pumping every 2 hours, I'm getting 2 ounces, keep doing it. I would definitely recommend to say, I would say yes, because I mean, some people say that doing that so much is going to make you overproduce, but I'm not going to lie, I would rather overproduce than not have enough milk. So yes, I mean, the more that you attach the Hakka, your baby, the pump, the more you're going to be telling your breast to produce, or your body to produce more milk. So I would say yes, but that's just because I would much rather have an overproduction of milk than not have milk, or my supply go down. It says, does it hurt to breastfeed? Do you get fevers? No, it does not hurt, and no, I don't get fevers. And if you are getting that, I'm gonna say that maybe you have mastitis and you should go get that checked out. It says, how long did it take for a good quantity of your milk supply to come in? By 1 week of having had her, that is when my milk supply was starting, like in regards to using the Hakka, that is when I started catching 2 to 3 ounces, whereas the first week I was only getting maybe half an ounce to an ounce. Says, does it hurt or burn when you breastfeed? If so, how long did the burn last? No, it does not burn, and maybe your nipples are sore, so I would say get this one. It says, how many ounces do you have stored in your freezer? I don't know, because I haven't counted them. And also keep in mind, guys, that I'm not only storing, I'm storing the breast milk, yes, but then I'm also producing milk to have when I go to, to leave when I go to work. Because as I told you guys, I did go back to work a week and a half after having given birth to my baby. So I'm both storing as well as already using some of the milk that I produce. Moving on, is it true you cannot eat spicy foods while breastfeeding? What do you refrain from eating? So in general, I'm not eating anything else but caldo de pollo and actually the baby crying. I'm not taking anything else that's not caldo de pollo or chicken salads. But yes, I have been told to not eat spicy stuff. And the one day I did eat aguachiles, which was like maybe a week after I gave birth. Araceli, shout out to you. She gave me the one thing I had been wanting to eat, which was aguachiles. My whole pregnancy, I wanted to eat aguachiles. You guys know me, I love mariscos, and I couldn't eat it. So that was something I ate. And you're not supposed to eat spicy foods because according to my mom, this is what my mom told me, it makes your babies get like little red, not pimples, but like little red dots on their skin. And when I ate the aguachile, it didn't give it to my daughter, but I also was scared that it would give it to her. So I'm not gonna lie, I didn't eat the whole thing either. It was very little amount, and I didn't drink the juice from the aguachile. I really just ate the aguachiles themselves. But yes, my mom has told me that if I do eat spicy foods, that your baby will get like little red dots. I mean, it goes away, but yes, my mom told me that. I don't know if it's just like a Mexican thing, but that is what my mom told me. And so I do refrain from eating spicy food. How do you manage breastfeeding, pumping, and being back to work? My baby is 1 month too. As I told you guys, I went back to work a week and a half after I gave birth to her, but because I was already producing milk and I was having enough to leave at home, I didn't actually start storing the milk up until I hit 2 weeks. That is when my supply came in from around 2 to 3 ounces. And that is what I showed you guys, which is like all this right here. See? They're like all sitting on top of each other. All of this is what I've been able to store, and I have 2 more packs in the fridge. But starting 2 weeks after I gave birth to her, that is when I started storing the milk. It says, how long does your baby feed for each feeding? So she feeds up until she falls asleep. That is what she does every time. And during that time, it takes I usually feed her for about 15 to 20 minutes. And in that time, I usually get 3 ounces. So that is on one breast. I'm assuming she's getting the 3 ounces on the other. Now, just in case you guys are like, how do you know your baby's getting enough? You have to be counting the wet diapers as well as the bowel movements. Bowel movements is her poop, like how many times your baby is pooping. They should be having, I believe, 8 to 10 wet and bowel movement diapers throughout the day, and my daughter is pretty much hitting that. So that is how I know she is getting enough. And when she doesn't, she cries. I noticed that the other day I gave her 2 ounces and she kept crying. I gave her another ounce, and that is when she calmed down. She just wanted more milk. But basically I have covered all of your guys' questions. Now, if I did not answer one of your questions and you guys really wanted it answered, go ahead and drop that below in the comment section and I'll be sure to answer that for you. But I really hope that this has helped most of you guys, because I know maybe not everything I'm doing is going to help you, but I'm really hoping it does. I know, like I said, I get questions on this every day, and that is why I decided to film this video and have it on YouTube so you guys can access it at any time versus putting it on stories and deleting after 24 hours. But with that being said, guys, thank you guys so much for watching my video. If you haven't followed me on my Instagram, I'm gonna put it right here. It is always linked below, as well as my discount codes. It is Muaerika18. And thank you guys so much for watching my video. Please subscribe, turn on your post notifications, drop me a comment, and I'll see you guys in my next video. Bye.
Hey, I look better than what I've been through, yeah. It's a celebration.